So here in 4.23, we want to graph this conic section. So first, since both of my variables are squared, it can be a circle, ellipse, or a hyperbola. So I'm going to move my constant. So I have x squared plus 10x, and I'm going to leave a space here, minus 4y squared equals negative 24 because I moved it to the opposite side. So I left this space here because when I have a squared term and a single term, I need to complete the square. I'm going to add b over 2 squared. So 10 divided by 2 is 5 squared, 25. Keeping it balanced, I'm going to add 25 to both sides. So here, to factor, I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to make 25 and add to make 10. Those numbers are 5 and 5. X plus 5 squared minus 4y squared equals 1. So now that I see it's equal to 1, that means it's either an ellipse or a hyperbola. So it's no longer a circle. Now, in order for it to look like an ellipse or a hyperbola, we need denominators. So x plus 5 squared is really just over 1, and y squared is over the reciprocal 1/4. So these need to be squares in the denominator. So this is x plus 5 squared over 1 squared minus y squared over 1/2 squared equals 1. So this subtraction tells me that this is a hyperbola. Hyperbolas are in the form, or at least this one is, x minus h squared over a squared minus y minus k squared over b squared equals 1, where the center is at hk. And here, my vertex is on the positive axis. So if I sketch this is a sketch, it's not on my axis. I know my center is going to be at negative 5, 0. So I know my center is at negative 5, 0. I'm not even putting it on an axis, I'm just going to sketch it. So from that center on my x, I need to go over 1 each way. So that would make this point, if I add 1, negative 4, 0. If I subtract 1, this point is negative 6, 0. And then on my y, I need to go up 1/2 and down 1/2. So my x's don't change. This point is negative 5, 0 plus 1/2 is 1/2. And then this point is negative 5, 0 minus 1/2, negative 1/2. So now I can draw my box of asymptotes. And then remember that the asymptotes go diagonally through the corners of your box. Now your vertex of your hyperbolas are on the positive axis. So in this one, x is positive. So that means my vertex is on x. So that means here on my x-axis, I'm going to, let me do it in black, draw my two hyperbolas going through my x vertices close to my parabola, or my asymptotes for my hyperbolas. So I recommend not sketching it on an axis, but more just labeling the important points of your hyperbolas or ellipse.